From far and wide, Oilers fans, this is Dolynny TV. And welcome back to another edition of Oilers Talk on the channel. Today, I am back to discuss some roster moves made by the Edmonton Oilers today. Some you might be scratching your head at a little bit in terms of what's going on in Oilers land. Either which way, I am your host for Dolynny TV, Tyson Dolynny, and let's get to it. See, I'm still working out this intro thing. Essentially, the big news today, a couple of big key notes, right? Valentin Zykov has been activated. I'm going to give you the Coles notes right here off the Oilers tweet. Valentin Zykov activated, Drake Caggiula on the IR, and then you've got Patrick Russell being sent down, and Ken Hitchcock's favorite guy to play for 3 minutes a game, Cooper Marody, makes his way back to the big club to see what he can do in another stint up here. I know he's made one stint, injured, went down, came back up, sent down. Now he's back up. So Cooper Marody having a hell of a season between Bakersfield and the Oilers. Now, not in terms of points, not in terms of production, maybe in Bakersfield, not with the Oilers, but in terms of travel, he's certainly having a great year. That is for sure. Either which way, guys, let's go check some stats here so as I can actually tell you a little bit more about why I think these moves were made. Honestly, Patrick Russell, it was just time to get somebody a different look in there for the Oilers. This goes to the Marody and Russell move here, sending Russell down. Similar things for Russell here. 6 games, no points, played primarily on the fourth line with whoever his line mates were, right? You've seen Jujar on there at times. You've seen Spooner. You've seen Ratty. He's been mixed around with guys on that fourth line, as a fourth line should be. That's 100%. A fourth line should be mixed around pretty much every second game. Sorry, guys, I am under the weather. It is gross being me today. Either which way, let's get back to the point. I will say that a million times, but like I said, you got to mix up a fourth line as often as possible because you've got guys, probably about 5 guys competing for 3 spots on a regular roster. The Oilers, yes, saved. They've got some defensive guys in there that they shouldn't on the back end, and that creates a logjam up front. But big thing is the Oilers keep doing that, right? By sending Russell down, calling up Marody, you get a different look between those 2 players, and that's huge, like I'm saying. So Russell, really, what has he done? He really hasn't done much in terms of those 6 games. He's looked sharp at times. Like I've liked what he's brought to the team, kind of that calming presence on the fourth line for sure. 2 penalty minutes in 6 games played. Well, you know what? You got to hope that somebody else can come in and maybe in 6 games at least pick up a point. Now let's go to Cooper Marody here, who I'm not a big fan. Not a big fan of what I've seen. Mind you, yes, those first couple games early in the season, maybe he was playing hurt and maybe that's what slowed him down. But 6 games played, nothing but a -1 on the board. So Cooper Marody, if you're going to get in the lineup, now is your chance to make an impact and stick for 5-6 weeks of the season. I don't think Marody's up here the entire year. Obviously, he's been shuttled back and forth before, and I think the shuttle will continue for Marody. That's just the way it goes for 2 guys on the roster each year, right? That's 100%. So you got to hope Cooper Marody gets some production up here, but also keeps playing well in the Bakersfield affiliate to keep coming up when he gets sent down. That's a fair assessment. So 11 games played for Marody down there in the AHL so far this year. 4 goals, 10 assists, 14 points, 6 penalty minutes, and how about a +1? He's played around. You can go to my interview with Matt Mozwich of Edmonton Future Watch. He had a great little take on Marody, what he's done down there in Bakersfield, who he's played with and stuff. I'm going to promote my own content because off the top of my mind, with as sick as I am today, I do not remember what Matt said. Pardon me on that one, but go watch it and I will get you figured out there. So 14 games, or 14 points, 11 games in Bakersfield, that is huge production for Cooper Marody, right? That's awesome. So Cooper Marody, keep that going. And like I said, shuttle back and forth, have a good season like that, contribute offensively with the Oilers, and you never know where you're going to end up next year. So, who do we tackle next? You know what? Let's go talk about Drake Caggiula on the IR because, like I said, I kind of knew this was coming, right? I said, what was that? That was yesterday when I was saying with Drake Caggiula not playing due to his hand issue, I bet you it's going to be a little bit more than we see, right? Where there's smoke, there's fire kind of deal. And he didn't play last night. Good move by Hitch, because now hopefully we've avoided losing Caggiula to this hand issue or whatever it is. I believe it's a hand issue from what I've read on Twitter. You avoid losing him long term because of not playing him last night. If you had played him, it got worse. Then suddenly, oh crap, what was just a crack is now a fracture. Now he's out 6 to 5 weeks, or 6 to 7 weeks. Oh my God. Brutal, guys. Brain's not functioning. Other than that, I don't really have much on Drake Caggiula. I don't know. Let's go see if I can find anything in the Twitter search and see if we can get anything going. So Drake Caggiula, number 91. Caggiula to have MRI on injured hand, maybe out long term. So hold on, pardon me, the Oil Illuminati kind of have it going for me, the Reddit Oilers. So, okay. Well, that sucks. That sucks. Drake Caggiula out long term, possibly. Well, hopefully we've, like I said, avoided the long term possibility by indeed keeping him out of the lineup last night. That would be good. Now, the last big point for the Oilers, then I'll talk about more goaltending controversy for me, is Valentin Zykov. He's been with the team, what, a week now about? I feel like it's been a week. I'm not 100% sure. You kind of lose track of guys when they're not on paper per se, right? So Zykov cleared to play finally. I believe there was some immigration issues. There was a couple of things holding up Zykov from suiting up with the Edmonton Oilers after being claimed on waivers from the Carolina Hurricanes. So now he gets a chance to come in here and show us what he's got. And Valentin Zykov, he's kind of a wild card for us. It's a big gamble in terms of using up another contract spot on the roster, but at the same rate, it's a guy with upside. What do we know about Valentin Zykov at this point in the NHL? In the NHL in 2017-2018, he had 7 points in 10 games with Carolina. Pardon me, it's Carolina. That shouldn't mean as much as it does, but 7 points, 10 games, that's not bad production. Then in 2016-2017, a goal in 2 games. So give him, 12 games, 8 points. That's good production. Problem is, the reason we were able to pick him up is this year, 13 games played, 3 assists for 3 points, and that's it. That kind of dooms you when you're a fringe player like Zykov has been with the Carolina Hurricanes. Hopefully now we can find a spot for him. Unfortunately, I believe it will be Ty Ratty's spot in the lineup that we find for him. Zykov and Spooner, that's a little bit more dynamic of a look for sure. So I think it could be a different take of the Oilers. And like I said, it all comes back to what is Ken Hitchcock's Edmonton Oilers lineup really going to look like once Andrej Sekera gets back, right? That's the last piece we are waiting for. When Sekera gets back, I think we'll have an idea of who Ken Hitchcock's Edmonton Oilers are. And that could be very exciting as Zykov takes shape, and now it's all a matter of just moving down the chain and seeing what this team can do down the stretch. I think it's going to be exciting. I think it's going to be challenging. I think it's going to be gutty. And that comes back to everything we saw last night, right? Ken Hitchcock obviously couldn't have been impressed with that first period from the Oilers. That was an absolutely terrible, terrible first period. Like, I gave up on the game at that point. I'm like, oh man. Okay, Talbot will give up a soft one to start the second, and 3-0. Game will be over. Oilers will quit trying. And why did we even come to play in St. Louis? Why didn't we just concede and give them the W? Well, we didn't. Nugent Hopkins, MVP of that game, gets the job done. Goes and absolutely single-handedly breaks that puck into the back of the net for the Oilers. Gets 2-1, and then all of a sudden Oscar Klefbom clutches up for what? The 3rd or 4th time in the past 2 weeks. Guy is playing unreal, and I think that really comes down to Ken Hitchcock playing him in meaningful minutes, getting him out there when it matters to have Oscar Klefbom on the ice. And the way he's performed in the past 2 weeks, he's been a number 1 defenseman. But as I say, Klefbom's not a number 1. He's a soft number 2 that needs a number 2 that is hard, or a number 1 to play to the level he should. There you go. That is tackling the roster moves for today. got a little sidetracked there with Oscar Klefbom. But guys, I'm going to be interested to see who starts tomorrow for the Oilers versus Minnesota. That's kind of what I'm looking for in the game preview. So guys, I'm Tyson. This is Dolynny TV. I will catch you guys in the next one.